80 degrees. In February. That is what millions of Americans woke up to this week. And right behind that record heat, a weather pattern so volatile, it has already spawned confirmed tornadoes across 2 states, shut down entire counties, and is now locking its sights on the East Coast with a nor'easter that could bury cities under 10 inches of snow before the weekend is over. This is not one storm. This is a chain of events unfolding in real time, and most people have no idea what is still coming. In the next few minutes, you are going to get the exact timing for when this system hits your specific area. Not general information, exact times. When the storms fire up, when the cold air crashes in, and which cities from Atlanta to Boston need to be watching the sky right now. You are also going to find out why meteorologists are calling the drought situation across the Southeast one of the worst in 25 years, and why that makes the fire risk heading into spring unlike anything this region has seen in a generation. Stay with me, because what comes next is critical. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center received reports of 6 confirmed tornadoes in Illinois alone on the evening of February 19th. 6, in a single state. In February, the Indianapolis NWS office issued a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning, a designation so rare that meteorologists treat it as a once-in-a-generation alert reserved only for the most extreme events. That is not routine language, that is not a precaution, that is the highest level of alarm the agency can issue. And that was just the beginning. A woman in Crawford County, Illinois, was pulled from the rubble of a mobile home that had been rolled over completely by a confirmed tornado. Between 12 and 15 buildings were destroyed or heavily damaged in that county alone. One home near New Hebron was leveled, with occupants trapped inside the debris. Hailstones, measuring 2 inches in diameter, roughly the size of a golf ball, were confirmed in Effingham County. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, the North Shore recorded 38.4 inches of snow in under 48 hours, potentially placing it among the top 20 single-storm snowfall events in Minnesota state history, with the state record being 36 inches set in Lake County back in January of 1994. While the Midwest recovers, a second, more complex system is already organizing, and the people in its path along the I-95 corridor may not realize they have less than 36 hours to prepare. The situation is about to get much worse before it gets better. To understand why this outbreak was so dangerous and why more is coming, you need to understand what made the atmosphere so explosive. Think of the atmosphere over southern Indiana on February 19th like a compressed spring. Dew points had surged to 60 degrees, temperatures reached 70 degrees Fahrenheit by mid-afternoon, and low-level lapse rates, a technical measure of how quickly the air destabilizes with height, were steeper than anything you would normally expect during a winter event. Satellite data from the NOAA-20 Polar Orbiting Satellite captured that instability in real time, showing a widespread region of 7+ degrees Celsius per kilometer lapse rates stretching across central and southern Indiana. The CIMSS ProbSevere system flagged a 75% chance of severe weather in that exact zone, including a 59% tornado probability, before the storms even fully organized. The Monroe County Airport near Bloomington recorded a 70-mile-per-hour wind gust before its instruments went offline entirely. Now that same frontal boundary that ignited Indiana is pushing east. And here is the question that should be keeping every forecaster up tonight. What happens when a second round of warm, unstable air rebuilding from Georgia and the Carolinas collides with a sharp cold air intrusion from the north? The setup is nearly identical to what triggered the outbreak 2 nights ago. Quick question for you, and drop this in the comments below. Where are you watching from right now? Leave your city and state. I am checking every single comment and will give you the specific timing and impacts for your exact location. Thousands of people are already doing this. Do not wait. Here is your critical timeline, organized by region. Illinois and Indiana. The outbreak is now confirmed and subsiding as of the early morning hours of February 21st. 6 tornadoes were confirmed in Illinois. At least one in the Bloomington, Indiana area is under damage survey assessment. For those regions, the immediate severe weather threat has passed. But do not be fooled. Cold air is now rushing in behind that front, and snow is part of the equation. Heading east and south, here is what Friday the 21st looks like. Tennessee and Kentucky, you will hear thunder beginning in the morning hours. West Virginia and the Carolinas, your severe weather risk fires up through mid-morning and into the early afternoon. This is a level 1 risk, meaning it is not a high-end outbreak, but gusty winds and hail are both possible. The tornado probability is less than 2%. Prepare for it. Do not panic, but take it seriously. Atlanta and South Georgia, listen carefully. Friday night into Saturday morning is your window of concern. High-resolution models are showing the storm system rebuilding northward out of South Georgia and the Florida Panhandle between 10 p.m. Friday and 6 a.m. Saturday. This means Atlanta, you could see heavy rainfall and rumbles of thunder before sunrise Saturday. Charleston, South Carolina, and the surrounding low country, your risk extends through Saturday afternoon. Storms in this zone will be electrically active, separating warm, unstable air from the cold air pushing in from the north. Lightning density in this corridor is significant. Now here is the part nobody is talking about enough. Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston, you are in a make-or-break forecast situation. The European high-resolution model is now showing 6 to 10 inches of snow along the I-95 corridor this weekend. Earlier model runs had that figure at only 1 to 3 inches, then 2 to 4. The entire difference comes down to the track of the low-pressure system. A slight shift inland means historic snowfall. A slight shift out to sea means a near miss. That uncertainty is not an excuse to ignore this. It is a reason to prepare now. Western North Carolina, here is the breakdown by elevation. Beech Mountain and Sugar Mountain are looking at around 1 inch. Get up into Swain County at 4,500 feet and above, and that range climbs to 1 to 3 inches. Indiana can expect a quick ½ inch to 2 inches of Great Lakes enhanced snow through the weekend. Ohio is looking at 1 to 3 inches in the same time frame. What comes next is the cold air crash, and that is where things take a dramatic turn. In Crawford County, Illinois, Jerry Bailey drove toward his family's property Thursday evening not knowing what he would find. When he came over the hill, he said, the structure was simply gone. His daughter's home, destroyed. The mobile home belonging to his son-in-law's mother had been rolled completely over. Emergency workers dug her from the rubble. She arrived at the hospital with at least 2 broken legs. His daughter, her cat, her belongings, her sense of security, all of it gone in seconds. A neighbor's home was destroyed. A different family near New Hebron was trapped inside their own collapsed house. And all of this happened in February, a month when tornado warnings in Illinois are not supposed to be the top story. For those who have never experienced a winter tornado, here is what it looks like. The sky turns a bruised green in minutes. There is no gradual warning, no gradual buildup. The wind shifts violently and the sound comes hard and low, like a freight train with no tracks. And then, it is over, and you are standing in what used to be your living room with open sky above you. Remember those 6 confirmed Illinois tornadoes we mentioned at the start of this report? Every single one of those touched down after dark on a February evening. The Indianapolis NWS had already issued a particularly dangerous situation warning, which is language that only gets used when the rotating storms on radar show gate-to-gate shear severe enough to produce violent, long-track tornadoes. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, families on the north shore of Lake Superior are digging out from 38.4 inches of snow. A coffee shop in Grand Marais was forced to close on Wednesday. Superior Middle School was inaccessible Thursday morning, with snow entirely blocking the entrance. 60 miles per hour winds churned waves across Lake Superior so violently that ice coverage on the lake dropped from 53% to 31% in under 4 days. This is not hype. This is not exaggeration. These are confirmed reports from the National Weather Service, local sheriff departments, and verified field observations. And the next system is already organizing. If you are in an area that is still under threat or just now recovering, drop your location in the comments right now. I am reading every single response and giving out specific personalized updates for your area. Here is the important part that affects everyone watching, not just those in the storm path. This is not just a severe weather outbreak. Right now, at this very moment, We are looking at simultaneous tornado damage across 2 states, a record-setting blizzard across Minnesota with over 3 feet of snow, a nor'easter threatening 6 to 10 inches along the most densely populated corridor in the United States, and an extreme drought consuming the entire southeast, 4 separate weather crises unfolding at once. In Minnesota, the snow emergency declared in the city of St. Paul triggered citywide parking restrictions and accelerated plow deployment across the metro area. Between 5 p.m. Wednesday and 10:30 a.m. Thursday, the Minnesota State Patrol counted approximately 220 vehicle crashes statewide. One of those crashes was fatal. 16 resulted in injuries. 188 vehicles went off state roads entirely. 13 semi-trucks jackknifed. In Illinois, Crawford County Sheriff William Rutan reported that power infrastructure across the affected area sustained significant damage alongside the structural losses. Emergency crews worked through the night to reach trapped residents in communities that had roads blocked by debris. And here is what most people are not paying attention to. The Southeast is entering wildfire season with what the U.S. Drought Monitor is now calling one of the worst drought conditions in Florida in over 25 years. Level 4, extreme drought, covers large portions of the Southeast. That is the second highest drought classification on the scale. It requires 6 to 8 inches of rain just to return to normal moisture levels. The isolated thunderstorms moving through this weekend will not come close to that. And we are now entering the season when the rain that does fall comes hard, fast, and does not soak in. The conditions for a major wildfire event are building. But here is what you really need to worry about. We are not done with winter yet. The National Weather Service office in Indianapolis made the right call Thursday evening, and the timing of that particularly dangerous situation declaration almost certainly saved lives. The PDS warning went out while some of the strongest rotation signatures were still organizing on radar, giving emergency managers and local residents additional minutes to seek shelter. Crawford County Sheriff Rutan confirmed that emergency management teams were able to respond faster than during a similar tornado event that struck the same area 3 years ago. The daylight hours, he said, made rescue coordination more effective. The Storm Prediction Center CIMSS ProbSevere algorithm, which uses satellite and radar data to calculate real-time severe weather probabilities, had already flagged the Bloomington, Indiana area at a 75% severe weather probability and 59% tornado probability before official warnings were issued. That kind of lead time is not accidental. It is the result of years of investment in high-resolution satellite systems like the NWS vertical profiling tool operated by NASA SPORT, which identified the dangerous atmospheric instability over southern Indiana hours before the storms formed. Still, legitimate questions remain. The Bloomington area sits in the middle of one of the largest radiosonde observation gaps in the entire country. Radiosondes are the weather balloons launched twice daily to measure atmospheric conditions. Without them, forecasters must rely heavily on satellite estimates, which are known to underestimate surface dew points, a key factor in storm formation. The NWS data underestimated the actual dew point at Bloomington Airport by several degrees. What would the forecast have looked like with better surface observation coverage? That question matters, because this will not be the last February tornado outbreak. In Minnesota, county road crews worked continuously through Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. School closures affected dozens of districts. The city of St. Paul was still in snow emergency status as of Thursday morning. What we are watching this week is not a single weather event, it is a pattern. 80-degree temperatures in February, a tornado outbreak in winter, a historic blizzard in Minnesota followed immediately by a nor'easter threatening the entire eastern seaboard. These are not coincidences. They are the signature of an atmosphere in aggressive transition, swinging between extremes faster and more violently than seasonal averages would suggest. The Climate Prediction Center's extended outlook, covering February 25th through March 5th, shows temperatures running well above normal across the southeast, the mid-Atlantic, and into the northeast. That same pattern, warm and volatile, is what drives the severe weather setups we saw this week. Above normal warmth does not mean clear skies, it means fuel, it means instability. It means the next front that drops in from Canada will have even more energy to work with. Here is what models are already hinting at. Another potential severe weather system is possible in the late February into early March window. The pattern supports it. Long-range models are also showing the possibility of a wet system arriving in the first days of March, possibly with mountain snow in western North Carolina and the broader Appalachians. It is too early for specifics, but the window for major snow events is not fully closed yet. California is also dealing with its own active pattern. Multiple storms have hit the state in succession, with the Sierra Nevada seeing 12 to 18 inches of snow from the latest system alone. And models are suggesting an atmospheric river could arrive as early as Monday into Tuesday of next week, bringing moisture levels comparable to the President's Day storm. After this system clears, watch closely. The next 7 to 10 days are not quiet. Final question. Given that this tornado outbreak happened in February, with temperatures near 70 degrees, and that extended forecasts show above normal warmth continuing through early March, do you believe our current warning and observation systems are equipped for a future where dangerous weather no longer follows seasonal boundaries?